Okay, so tonight I'm the bill.
Well, I'm not saying a thing.
That's a great start.
Oh, it's broken, that's why.
I'm not saying a word.
Okay, you guys go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
No, we're not.
So the thing
We're gonna sit
is,
here and laugh.
each day we're gonna laugh at somebody new who are falling out of the chair. Today was Mark's day.
It's your turn tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. I'm gonna go full on floor.
Yeah. I don't think I fluffed into it yesterday. I think it was just doing this back when it was broken.
Do you notice why that chair was still available?
Wow.
Wonder how many other people that happened to.
I don't remember it being broken last night.
And there's no damage to the screen.
Okay.
I speak up. It is. Yeah.
That chair's nice and dry too. So.
It's so dry. Yeah, I'm soaked now, but you know, it's Roatan. It's Roatan.
Damn.
Roatan.
I can't say it like he.
Roatan.
Roatan. Roatan.
I think you have to be from here to say it correctly.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Take two.
Take two. Welcome to day 3 of Roatan.
Yeah.
Roatan.
Today was a special day. Guess I'll talk.
What
You guys kind of looking at me.
I know.
No,
This
I wanted to because I've done this tour before, although it's always new and it's always refreshing and it's always fun with Cleve as nobody else I would want to take a tour with.
So
Because I'm spoiled.
Yeah. We're
That's the
talking about
problem.
Cleve's tour, is what we did today.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to expect. We've been talking about it, and we've been really, thinking we've got to get our story for our video to tell the story of your ministry here. And we even came to you and said, yeah, if we don't have to do the tour, that's fine. We can spend more time on the catwalks and getting stuff, because it's not that important to get a tour.
Yeah.
It was more than a tour.
It was an adventure.
Yes.
So this guy Cleve, I don't know, you can't explain him. He's one of those people that you meet that just has a big impact on you.
Mm-hmm.
That, I don't know, the words aren't going to be able to say what Cleve is like, but he's
If Jimmy Walker, J.J. Walker, Dynamite became a televangelist, you'd have kind of close to what Cleve is.
The national tree is the pine tree, the soft pine tree, not the monkey tail. Where y'all was sitting under a pine tree, the soft pine tree. He crosses over 36 miles to the mainland, but a storm was coming, and he wanted to see his depth. He throws anchor, but the anchor never touched the bottom. When he hit the mainland, he says, "Gracias a Dios," which means thank God. Estoy afuera, that I'm out de estas Honduras aguas, which means thank God I'm out of these deep, deep, deep waters. Honduras means deep, deep, deep waters. Hondo means deep. Honduras, deep waters.
He just
but like,
oozes this excitement and this love and just crazy.
so I don't know if you guys have ever been around people that are just ultra passionate about life, what they do, their family, their culture.
Yeah.
That it exudes something that you don't find very often. People they love life, they love God, they love everything. They love to share that with others. I think, when Cleve, the thing that just blew me away is we were out there on the road waiting for him today. He pulls up in a nice vehicle. We were expecting a tour van type of thing, but this is a very nice vehicle he pulled up in. And he bounces out of this car. I mean, not just like gets out, but bounces out of this car and just was like, came over, gave me the biggest bear hug. Like he is truly part of your family. That's one of the things that he does too, and we'll talk more about that. But like he keeps calling us family, during the whole trip. But then he gets through bear hugging you. And then he grabs onto you, were standing next to him at that point, and then grabs onto Mark, gives him a big bear hug, grabs onto me, gives him a big bear hug.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of tour are we going on?
And
It's pretty unusual.
and his thing was, "Hello, family." Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's like, it was just really cool introduction to it.
It's kind of like when you're first saved, you have this enthusiasm. Wow, I'm a child of the King. I'm going to go tell everybody. And we don't want that to wear off. and it's never worn off as long as I've known him, which has only been probably 4 years, maybe 5, that we started taking tours with him. It doesn't wear off because family and God is what encourages him. It inspires him. It truly does. And you know, it's like you guys, you've become very good friends. And now I expect that, you know, whenever I see you, man, I'm going to feel good about, hey, there's Steve and Mark again. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about the Lord. Let's talk about Island Comedy Minute. Let's talk about because it's fun. We enjoy talking to each other. And you know, and family, a good family is always like that. And it's rare to have a good, solid family like he does with his wife and 3 boys.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you wanted us to see the island, right? And you were concerned that maybe we weren't going to enjoy this tour, weren't going to get out of it what we think we may need to get out of it to tell the story. But his whole thing about his tour and his tour company is to provide an island tour from a local's eye view, you know, from the local experience. It's not about going to the tourist areas, or he calls them the tourist trap areas, right? It's about seeing the parts.
They want us to see the culture.
Like, we could talk about what he said, what Royal Caribbean, he had worked for Royal Caribbean for a while, and then he goes to these meetings with the cruise lines because they send him business. And what did they say? Like, you cannot go to these areas.
Yeah, don't take people to these neighborhoods because we don't want them to see these neighborhoods because they're dirty, because people are living in poverty. We don't want people to see that. We want them to see the face of Roatan, which is, a party. Yeah. He even took us down the main road of Coxon Hole, of the fake Coxon Hole, where he said, look at all these fences. That's so you can't see into anything. It just looks nice that way. You look at the pretty Caribbean fences, walls, and then a store, and then a wall and a store. They're hiding it. Yeah.
Well, you know what's so nice, too, is the fact that being Christians, we look at the world differently. And so we see all the poverty and the needs in these little corners that nobody else sees from the tourist viewpoint. And so we feel like he does, because we feel like those people. Well, a lot of people, I'm not saying they're not all saved on those cruise ships, but there are people who want the cultural things. They want to drink, they want to party, they want to have a good time, and see the pretty things so they can tell their friends back home. Yeah. We're going to tell our friends who live in a different culture, the Christian culture, guess what we saw? Guess who were we able to help? Who could we give to? Who could we show love to? And that's the whole deal. And
it's not in a way of like, I'm going to make you feel guilty that you're on vacation. Yeah. And that's not what he's making people feel. But it is the, do you really want to know how the sausage is made?
Right.
Yeah, you get to see when you get off a cruise ship, when you come to visit a beautiful city, you don't venture outside of the city.
No.
Once you venture outside, you go, oh, this is how people really live. The people that are making my bed, the people that are making my breakfast, this is how they live.
That's right.
It's not the same life that you're experiencing on vacation.
That's right.
So we got in the car this morning about, 9 a.m. or so, right? It's now 6:30, so we just got back in from the tour.
Yep.
And he went the whole time, like
non-stop
talking. But it wasn't like just, hey, I love this community, this is what's great in this community, this is what's not. He's like super passionate, right? He's excited, his arms are moving. But the thing is, I was sitting in the front seat, you and Mark were in the back seat, we're in this Toyota SUV. It was awesome to sit in the front seat, but I was the target of all of his passion.
Absolutely.
So he was driving, right? And these roads
you were in his eyesight.
But he was talking to me and being very passionate. And then he'll be like showing his phone with pictures of things that are going on, and I said, finally turned to Mark and when we got out of the car at one point, I gotta think maybe I gotta sit in the back seat a little bit because I'm feeling a little worn out. And it wasn't a bad worn out, but I was feeling so excited and feeling his passion that it was just almost overload.
Yeah, just share it with Mark.
Yes, exactly. So finally, at the end of the day, so your front seat time when he was going to do a testimony.
But mine was his testimony, and I had to stand there hold there with my camera for 40 minutes, and my arm was
I thought about that
falling off.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to stop. It was a good story.
So that was like a 9-hour tour, a lot longer than a 3-hour tour. We did get return, but wow.
And he doesn't do it for the money. And he doesn't do it. He doesn't look at his watch and say, "Oh man, I got to get back to my family and
Yep.
have dinner tonight." He doesn't care. He wants you to be filled with what he's filled with. His compassion for people, his love for people, and just to see what this country is really like.
Yeah.
It's it's touching.
So we
you
went
don't
and
see that very often.
So we saw the 5 cultures on the island.
Yes.
5 totally separate cultures. We learned the history of every culture.
Yeah.
We learned, what date they arrived, when, things went wrong for them. Just how they've been taken advantage of, or how they've been the one taking advantage.
There's an interesting thing. I just remembered this when he was asking us, what are the 2 things that were high points. But one thing that he said that is really relevant to the American situation that's going on in America right now with racism.
Yes.
So he had said, people often ask, are these cultures racist because they don't necessarily mix?
Mm-hmm.
They don't disagree, but they just don't mix together. They tend to stay together. So you have the Guanafari that are the Nigerian black culture. You've got the Latino culture. You've got these different cultures. But he says, it's not racism.
It's culture.
It's culture, and the cultures are different. I just think of today in America, we're so strong on saying everything is racist,
Right.
but it's really a cultural difference, and that's not a bad thing because God designed culture into the DNA of people. Right?
Yeah.
There's different cultures, and that's what makes travel exciting. That's what makes meeting new people exciting. Is there are people from different cultures than you have.
And what's nice too is you can travel this whole island, go through all those cultures, and never have any you don't see any animosity between any of them.
I thought
or
you
even
were going to
us.
go with it is when we drove past that Jonesville and he went, down there every year they have this big pirate festival, and he goes, because the Caracals, which are the descendants of the pirates, still live on the island. They pretty much own everything. He's like, but everybody goes to it. Doesn't really matter what culture you're from. Because how did he say it? He said, because we don't run from our history. We embrace our history, and we learn from it. And he's like, and we don't hold anything against anybody anymore.
Which is really opposite of what's going on right now.
Where today we're being told, you got to look at history and you got to hate people. No. And that's why he's like, we go to the pirate festival. He's like, you know what the pirates did to my people? But it doesn't matter because these aren't pirates. These are just the descendants.
Even the Garifuna, he said, in the Sunday afternoons, they'll get together, play their drums, and sing and dance and have a great time together. But other people are invited to come in if they want to and join in the dancing and singing and listening to the drums and all that music.
So they're separated by culture, but yet they all seem to just accept that and get along and not worry about the past. They're worried about today, getting along today. Yeah. What a lesson our country could be learning right now.
Oh yeah, it's a very good lesson.
And the other interesting thing was the government structure here on the island is that they have 2 mayors, one for each end of the island essentially. The mayor that was just re-elected again for this eastern end is a
Carson Dilbert,
yeah,
right?
well-known Christian. This will be his 3rd term, and says that people love him because of his Christian moral values, and what a difference that's made in their communities of having morals, and even the non-Christians love this guy because of the things that he's saying.
He said they could trust him.
They can trust him, and he's fair, and just the fact that they are just very hardcore against gangs and drugs, and they don't want that infiltrating because the mainland of Honduras is a huge problem.
As soon as you say Honduras, you think of drug cartels and gangs.
Yeah.
But that's what he said. Yeah, Roatans are like, nope, we do not want that here because if you take away our tourism, we have nothing.
And they watch that very carefully, and you'll notice if we have a chance to go to the jail there's 4 of them, he said, and if you have the chance to go to one on Tuesday when we go to the dump ministry, you're going to find that there aren't very many people in those jails because they know that they have to behave, and if they don't, if they have to spend more than 6 months in one of these jails, they're going to the Honduran mainland.
Honduran prison.
And you don't want to go to Honduran prison.
No.
That's a dangerous thing to have to do.
Yep. Can imagine. So again, we got to see all these different cultures, learn about them. We got to eat pastelitos,
Yes.
which is the like official food of Roatan.
It's like an empanada. A lot of people are familiar with
That's right.
an empanada type of thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Or we can say in America, a hot pocket.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, with some meat in there.
That's about what it is. Yeah.
But it was fantastic. We had 4. Well, you and I had 4 each.
We had 4 each.
I only
Bill
had 3. I didn't want to outdo you.
He had 3 as well.
So
Yeah.
me on my eating routine, I haven't done so well here.
No.
No, because
No.
then this juice, Maya
Maya
Rica
Delicioso.
something, but it's a fruit that grows on the mainland that like is their favorite.
Yeah.
It was good.
And then there was a guy there. I don't remember. You remember what culture he was from?
Raisin again?
He made some
He was a
cookies.
mosquito.
It was a mosquito,
Yeah, and
which means he was an indigenous person to
Yeah.
that island.
delicious stuff.
Yeah, it was
Like a filled cupcake.
it was like a muffin that had
very,
Yeah.
very dense.
almost
ginger
like a
muffin.
a
It
dry
was.
banana bread, but then it had like
It
pineapple
was
in
like
the
a
middle.
ginger banana breadish
Yeah,
thing with.
it was just delicious.
It was.
Yeah,
It was.
it was okay.
It wasn't overly sweet. It wasn't,
It was very dense.
but very dense.
This is right.
You'd sell them in America. You'd sell them as a power bar.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Roast out, power bar.
Yeah,
I think it is raining again here in our
it is. I
area.
see it dripping off there. But yeah, we had a great lunch.
We met his family.
Yeah.
He drove us to where his wife
The
works.
only tourist thing we did was West End, and it was because he wanted us to meet his family. I think.
So he had he's got three boys, great kids.
Josh, Jeremiah, and Joseph,
Yep.
and his wife Jessica.
And he actually asked them a lot of the quiz questions that he asked us at the end of the day.
Yeah, which
Those-
I'm glad he did, because that's how I remembered. Was I was going, if that little guy can remember.
Those
right.
boys had all the questions down for their dad, just about the island and the history, and they've been traveling with him
Yeah.
out in the van.
And then on the way back, I jumped in the front seat and recorded his testimony, and we'll put that in a separate video. Like, you want to watch it, you should
would be
watch
good.
it, because it's
Yeah.
good testimony.
It's worth watching.
And,
I don't know if we actually got the actual end of the testimony because we pulled up into
Yeah, we pulled up into the
the
restaurant for
dinner
dinner,
spot. But
but we got enough of it.
Or you may just have to come back again in time to finish it.
That's right.
It's always an option.
Then we had Mexican food at
I gotta get
Christie's.
my hat back from him anyways.
That's
so
right, exactly.
Left your hat there?
in the car.
He's probably already like taking a boat. He's going to show up in a minute.
It's
Yeah.
like, your hat.
You forgot your hat. Oh, thank
Hey,
you.
family, your hat! Character. But he speaks from the heart. He's not doing that to perform. That's his personality.
That's who he is.
Bubbly and fun and
Yeah.
inspiring, and that's what, it's a good example to us, and that's what we should be being Christian. We should tell people about the Lord like he does about his country.
Yes.
It's very, very interesting. Very good.
But his testimony is great. From being a
Rebellious kid.
rebellious wild child who basically ran off to New York.
Yeah, his whole story was his dad had absolutely nothing growing up, became a lawyer through the public schools, and suddenly now could provide his family with everything they could want, and that's what his thing was. My kids will get everything I didn't have. And he said, I ended up being a spoiled, rotten kid.
Yeah.
And his sister's a lawyer, and the other one's a doctor, or one's a doctor, one's a... And then he kind of went a different way.
But yeah, you'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch it.
Yeah, definitely. So, but it's great to hear. It was a fun day. It was informative day. It
I
was
think it was an important day.
challenging
Each day's
day.
been important, but today was an important day to see. You know, we actually saw some of the same stuff we've been seeing,
Yes.
but we saw it from a different angle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And on a bigger scale of, if we'd have never made it up in the hills, in the Latin community, wouldn't have known.
He took us into a couple of abandoned places that were either going to be a resort or big community that was supposed to be built. That was
What's
pretty
crazy is both places he took us to, the stories were the sons of a rich man had an idea to build this amazing resort and some tragedy struck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it was like something.
And many millions.
And they
have
just
been
walked away.
already put into
Yeah.
those.
We went to one that was, I mean, it was going to be a beautiful, beautiful place.
A five-star resort.
5-star resort.
Yeah.
And when we walked down in there, Cleve talked to the security guy that he actually knew, and the guy let us go down there. Or no, that one he didn't know.
No, he didn't know him. That's
But
the guy let us go down. Yeah,
the guy
sure,
let us
go down
there. Ooh, that was a big bat. Just flew past. But I looked at one of the windows, one of these villas, and the bed was still made.
Yeah, that's
and the
right.
pillows were on the bed. But this place has been abandoned for 5 years. It never actually opened.
Yeah, he said like 12 years, I thought, right? Or that was the other one?
That was the other one.
Okay, so yeah, like for 5 years it's been sitting with the beds made.
Yeah.
Just bizarre. And like any building, you leave it alone, it starts to rot.
We're talking like a resort you'd see, you know, in Las Vegas
Yeah.
or something. I mean, elaborate.
It's just nice, you know,
But on the Caribbean, just hanging out over the ocean there.
beautiful boat dock with gazebos on the end.
They don't consider this the Caribbean, though, do they?
Yeah.
They do?
They
Okay.
do.
They just kept saying the Atlantic, the Atlantic.
But
Yeah.
You talked about it a couple times.
Yeah.
But
It
he did
is-
say we are the Pirates
It
of the
is
Caribbean.
in that area. Yeah. Yeah. Either one, I think.
Yeah,
That's,
you know, the Fantasy Island, yeah, same thing. The son of a rich man.
yeah. That's right.
It
Yeah.
just falls apart.
That's true. It was a great journey.
It's going to be one of those things where your little stories will hit you, like, oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
when he said
they will.
that.
Yeah, in fact, like the Fantasy Island, I didn't even remember that we were there.
Yeah, no, didn't
Until
either.
you said that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Anybody wants to buy property down here?
Oh, we saw
There's
it.
some very expensive property, but then there's some deals.
The deal.
The deal of the day was that big mansion on the hill. Makes you go, what's wrong with it?
Exactly. Oh, you never know either. You know.
Yeah. But I think, you know, again, I think somebody with a lot of money probably buying an investment in a foreign country goes, I'd rather be in the American neighborhood,
Yeah.
where that's kind of out.
It was
You're out and alone.
It was isolated, so there's a lot of bugs and other things that a lot of people may not be comfortable with, and also
Or they feel like they're
people
out.
forget about the salt air and these storms that come through, and the salt air just eats things up. That's going to be a real problem with anybody who buys anything here. Termites, terrible problem. So you know, you never know. Could be why they want to sell it so cheaply. It looks nice from the outside.
Yeah. A lot of upkeep. So we're back here at Reef House. We're back home.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to go to Travis Moran's R Church in West End, or West Bay.
So is that
Infinity
ARB?
Bay.
R, like
R, as
Just
in
the
the
letter
R,
R,
or is it
like
like
R
R?
Ranch out of Red Bluff. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's a horse
Uh-huh.
ranch.
Been out there.
But it's just the letter R.
What does
Yeah.
that mean?
Roatan
I don't
Church.
know. I've never asked
Is
him.
it Roatan?
Yeah.
Is that what
I
it's
think it's just Roatan Church.
Could be Roatan or it could be our, just
Yeah.
shortened up.
Or it might
to
be a
R.
pirate church.
It could
Arr,
be.
the Arr Church. There you go. It's got a hook up
So
there.
we're going to do that, walk along the beach a little bit maybe if we have time, and then on the way back we'll stop a couple places, take some more pictures, talk to some people maybe, who knows, and then we're going to go to the Bite Church with Pastor Dave and Heather.
And then the content creation really gets kicked in.
Yes.
Monday is, the story's got to be ready for Monday.
So tomorrow is the church day, but really formulating everything for Monday.
Yep. Yeah, we've been filming and taking pictures. We've got some great stuff, but now we have to know the story.
It's coming together.
Yep.
I think it's
It is.
milling around.
It's
and,
definitely coming together. It's there. It's right there. We can just kind of almost touch it.
I think we can.
Right.
We can see it in our minds. We're just the puzzle pieces are still scattered that
Yeah.
we need to pull together. So
It's going to be good.
it's gonna be good.
I think so.
Well, time to call it a night.
Yeah, another.
I think so because I've had this drip going on now for the last 15 minutes. I'm getting soaked right here. I didn't want to move for fear that my chair might fall apart. So I figured it's better just to stay right where I'm at.
It is very late, being 6:40.
It is.
Oh wow.
It is, yeah.
It's very late.
It's almost, almost 7
Since we don't
o'clock.
really have any internet, it's
Yeah.
and no television.
I made it till 9 o'clock last night though.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's
I
nice.
just started talking like little girls again.
Exactly.
That's good.
It was like summer camp again last night. We got talking and remember this, remember that.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's fun to reminisce.
Yeah.
Helps you remember those stories a little bit better too.
Yep. Okay.
So far, it's been a good trip.
Yep.
It's funny because you always feel weird saying it's been fun, because this is not we're not here on vacation. You know, we said on the
Right.
first night we were together, like this is not vacation, but it's fun. Ministry can be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's-
it should be too, I think.
It's
I think back
fulfilling.
to what Cleve said at the end, that because I asked him at dinner tonight, I said, you know, what's your biggest challenge, right? And I kind of had to redefine what challenge meant for him. But he's like, he ended up saying, you know, I love what I do. I love what I do. I love what I do.
And he means it.
And he does.
He really does.
Because I don't care how long I'm out for the day, I love what I do. And I just think, you know, I speak for you probably too, and you say something like, Mark and I love what we get to do, and that
Yeah.
God's provided us with the gifts and talents that we have, that we can minister with our cameras, help you. You know, it's just, we love what we get to do, and it's fun. Ministry can be fun. It's hard.
And you can tell though by the passionate way that people act and speak how much they really love what they're doing.
Yep.
But you know, that is a gift, because you know how many people really aren't satisfied with the jobs that they have. They're there because it pays the bills and maybe some insurance and retirement and all that stuff.
Yep.
But if you love what you're doing, it doesn't matter about the money. That's how you get fulfilled. As long as you're eating, that's fine.
Yep.
That's the way I look at it.
Sorry, you were signing off, but just
That's okay. That's good.
a little something extra I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we didn't say that if you look up Cleve's family tours, whatever it's called, is on TripAdvisor for Roatan.
Yeah,
it's
Cleve's
the
tours,
number
yeah.
one activity on TripAdvisor for the whole island.
Yes.
Out of, what did he say, 260?
340.
340 activities, and
Activities.
he's number one.
Yes.
Like beating the dolphin encounter things and
Yeah.
all the things, you know, swimming with
Yeah.
the stingray.
Yeah.
all the
Uh-huh,
things
so
that
yeah,
people-
swimming with sharks, and
Yeah.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
number one is
Echo
Cleve.
ATV tours.
And that tells you a lot.
And I would agree, that was an amazing tour.
Yeah. That's good. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
one more thing.
Okay.
Like we talked about, I've been kind of pronouncing Roatan wrong, but I mean it's like Roatan, like an an.
Uh-huh.
Roatan.
Did he give you his card? The back of his card says there's no tan like a Roatan.
Roatan.
Except I can't say it like he does, but
Tan.
that is his
Roatan.
logo.
Kind of has
You know
some-
why? Because I think because we all try to make it a Spanish word, and it's not.
No.
It's a mosquito word. Huh?
Yeah.
It's a
I think it
native,
was.
indigenous word, Roatan.
So I just thought I'd throw that in there too. Anything else we should throw in? Besides the towel?
We'll think about it around 9 o'clock tonight.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to tell us what Honduras means.
Nope, go ahead.
Stay tuned.